I grew up in a house that was extremely violent. I was sexually abused by my mom, my dad, and my brother, and many other people for the majority of my childhood. And I held on to it for so long, and it was so hard to live with. And I thought I would never forgive them. It was hard for me to see that forgiveness didn't mean reconciliation. And so I'm not in a place where I need to have a knit, close relationship with those people who hurt me, but I am in a place where I would love to see them come to the Lord.
See, I had to stop thinking about what he had done to me.
Because forgiveness is an attribute known only to God.
It says, bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not.
It's interesting how we arrived at the Fruit of Forgiveness ministry. To be honest, we were quite disturbed by what was going on. And more specifically, we were disturbed by what wasn't going on. We looked around, we could see relationships that were very troubled. We could see people who hated each other, people who did not want to forgive each other, and they felt like it was okay.
You could see what God was doing. He was laying the groundwork, and he knew that this whole forgiveness story was more than a story.
Yes.
It had to be something that had to be implemented so that people could be free from the bondage of unforgiveness.
Growing up in Kansas City was very tough, being Hispanic. I mean, I used to get beat up at the schools. I didn't understand it. I remember telling my mom, why was he calling me names and beating me up? And I was the same color as he was. And my mom said, we may be the same color, but we're not, you know, you're not a white person. I mean, even as an adult, I hated white people with a passion, to the point where I just couldn't stand to be near them, because I knew they were fake people and they didn't really like me. And I would always go back to what had happened to me in my past, and I held a bitterness towards them and an anger. I learned to forgive once I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. God put a love inside me where I could let that go. I could say, okay, I forgive them, and really let go of it.
I attended my first forgiveness event a few weeks ago, and one of the first things that the facilitator said was that forgiveness is to set a prisoner free, and then to realize that that prisoner was you. And at the moment that she said that, I realized that there was something that I had not dealt with. I realized that I had been blinded by Satan, and that I had not given total forgiveness in a situation in my life.
No matter what happens in our lives, good or bad, there's one thing that never changes, and that is God is in control.
We've seen so many lives change through this ministry, through our conferences and our seminars and one-on-one sessions. And so many times I've never heard it that way before. I didn't know you could forgive like that.
As I received the Lord's forgiveness, as I truly received the Lord's forgiveness, I wanted nothing else but to give it away, to give it to everyone who had ever hurt me, so that they could live in the freedom that I am now living in.
And I'm thinking, you know, about forgiveness. I thought we as a country owe trillions of dollars. And I thought, what if there was a country that would pay off our debt, but in doing so, their citizens would die, and they would do it anyway. That's what Christ did for me. I mean, he forgave me of everything, and you know, I can't hold back not forgiving others because I have been forgiven so much. And that's why I love this ministry. It's taking that message to people of forgiveness.